Welcome back to Jennifer Broussard Art. Today on Painting Playtime, we will try to paint one peach with our non-dominant hand. Have you ever tried to do that? It's really awkward. The outline can be found on my Patreon channel. Link will be in the description. Today I'm going to be using a new to me DaVinci Cosmotop round 12. In addition to using my left hand, my usual three colors, Nickel Azo Yellow, Quinacridone Rose, and Phthao Blue by M. Graham, and an Arches 8x8 block, cold press 100% cotton paper. I already have the outline. I made it really simple so that we could get used to using our non-dominant hand. I did this about a year ago after having carpal tunnel surgery on my right hand. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it was definitely awkward. So I've switched my layout. Everything's on this side now. My water's over here. These are my three colors. I have plates full of these colors that I'm trying to use up. So here's my Quinacridone Rose, here's my yellow, and here's my Phthao Blue. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by wetting all the peaches. You know, it's really interesting because I haven't done this in about a year, maybe 10 months. I didn't have to do it, so I didn't keep it up. It stays with you. This doesn't feel as awkward as it did when I first tried it. And I have noticed since doing this about 10 months ago and being forced to paint with my left hand because of pain, that I can easily switch off between the two hands. Okay, I'm going to treat this all as one shape. I did not do the drawing with my left hand. I will say that. I even had to learn how to use my left hand on the mouse. It wasn't a fun time. But you know what? Now that I'm through it, I'm really glad that I was kind of forced to survive. Okay, I'm going to get some yellow. And I'm going to put a light value of this yellow. I really like this brush, by the way. I'm going to put a light value over here. That's not very light. This peach is the focal point. It has the little stem and the opening where this, I don't know what you call it, the hole where the stem comes out of. So that's the focal point. We're going to make that have the most contrast and the most detail. I'm going to put some yellow in here too. This might take a little longer than usual because it's my left hand. So that it also really, in that case, it makes you slow down. This is really dark. This is a really dark area on this peach. And I'm going to ignore the fact that it's a little bit shriveled. I'm just going to make it a normal peach. It's really dark in here. I'm not going to add yellow to the baskets because they have sort of a white undertone. So I'm a very cool undertone. So I'm not going to put yellow there. I'm not going to put any yellow there either. But down here in the bottom of the basket, it's very dark. So I just went ahead and did that. And it looks like I forgot a line. So when this dries, I'm going to put a line right here. All right, I'll be back after I dry it. I'm going to mix a light orange. Okay, now I'm going to wet this peach. Oh, I didn't put the line in. Put a line right here. If you want to try this out, just draw a circle on your practice paper, on your sketch pad, and just do one peach. Just do this peach. I always bite off more than I can chew. I don't know why I have to do 4 peaches to do this with you. Maybe, you know what? I'll just keep the instruction to this peach and then leave you to do the rest on your own. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think? Not like you can say anything. It really is easier once you do this a few times. I can't believe how I'm not really struggling that much. It's definitely slower going. I'm going to add a little bit of this orange over here. And then to this orange on the right, I'm going to add red. I'm going to go lightly at first. Let's see, so this goes like this. And then around this upper edge, we want to make it look like the red color is going into the yellow-green color. I'm going to lift some of that off. Damp brush. Just lift it off. I think the more difficult part is getting the brush damp with my left hand. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to get just a little bit over here. Till about there. And then there's a little bit in here. And then this is dark and it does a little curl. Just while I have it wet and damp, I'm going to keep adding pigment and get it sort of medium dark. I almost switched hands. Putting a little bit over here. I'm going to lift right here. I've taken to this brush like I've been using it for years. I might get some more sizes in this. And I don't remember how much it cost. I think it was less than $20. All right, I'm going to dry this and then continue to darken it. Now I'm going to try, we've done wet and wet now with our left hand, or non-dominant hand, and I'm going to try now doing wet on dry. I'm going to make this be the darkest area of the peach. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the red now, and then I will add a little blue to darken that area of the peach. Go nice and slow. Now I'm going to get a damp brush and soften this. I'm not going to do too much more to this. I'm going to try to keep the red away from it. Okay, re-wetting a little bit so I can get some blue in there. Just cut a little bit right off that dry plate. That's a lot. So I'm just going to spread it around with some water. See how that diluted? I'm going to put a little bit down here. Now I'm going to get a little more red. We're just going to build this up in layers. A little more blue for right down here. I want this to be round. I might have to sneak my right arm in there somewhere. Okay, a little bit more yellow. To brighten it up. Damp brush. Oops. And that's right in the perfect spot because there is a little bit of pink that comes up right there. Just going to soften it. Okay, let's let that dry. I mixed a little bit of purple over here on the little plate, and I'm going to put it down here at the bottom of this peach on dry paper. This is the darkest part. It's a weird angle too, for your left hand. Okay, and that little dark line goes about half, actually it goes all the way over to the other side. Now I'm going to soften that. Just some clear water over the top of it, over the top of the hard line. And now I'm going to get some orange and put here. I'm going to go right over that dark line with the orange. I still want it to be bright, so whenever you add a blue, it's going to get dulled down a little bit because it's mixed with the yellow and the red. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? A little more orange. And then I'm going to spread that out up here. And swoop down to this side. I'm going to put some of this dark purple right here. I didn't get much of it. It's these little things that make using your non-dominant hand a little more difficult. And then I'm going to put this purple right here. There's a little bit of it here. And then above and below that, I'm going to put some red. It's okay if it goes out of the lines. I'm going to use an eradicator brush on those. Okay. Soften this line. And soften this line. Okay. This is not softened. I'm going to actually get some yellow and put here. There. Okay, I'm going to get bold here. I'm going to go like this, like a backwards J. Do some more. I'm going to add some purple. There we go. I'm going to add some yellow. I want to push this pink back. Everything is creeping up onto my light area, and I want to preserve that. Don't worry about that. That's okay. That's going to be peach, so. More yellow. The synthetic fibers are a lot like real hair, except for when you want to soften. They don't get saturated with water enough, and then so when you wipe them down on the paper towel to get it damp, some of those hairs get a little too dry. It's still very, very nice. Not complaining. I'm going to spread this over a little bit over here. And then keep this very light by softening that. I'm going to lift a little bit right here. See if I can do it with my right hand. There. Going to add a little yellow right there. Okay, now I'm going to dry that. Off camera, I used my eradicator brush to clean up the edges around the peach. And now I'm going to use my left hand to scrub a little bit of this so we get some more direction and some more depth. I want to get some striations in the color. There we go. We got a little bit there. And then going this way, I want to get some. This is a little harder to do. I want to go like swoop. Okay, it's very subtle. I don't know if you can see it. But this is how I get the texture, the fuzzy texture on the peaches. So down here, let's see, still have to get used to what angle to put the paper. I'm going to put a little bit of eradicator brush, or use a little eradicator brush right there. See how that just added some fuzz? I'm going to bring it up to here. I'm going to soften, or not soften, but take a little bit off over here. And then take a little bit off up here. I want that little J curve. And then I'm going to do some little directional C curves. There's some hard lines right here that I want to get rid of. Okay, and now along the edge of the line here, I'm going to make it yellow by taking off a little bit of that pigment. I'm being really, really gentle because I don't want to ruin the surface of the paper. Okay, now I think I can continue. I'm going to get this number 8 Silver Black Velvet. It's a little smaller, and I think I can handle it a little better. I'm more familiar with this brush. So I'm going to now add a little bit more color, a little bit more value. Going to make an orange. Okay, I'm going to use that orange here. I'm going to add a little bit of the purple. Get a little yellow. Get a little bit of red. Okay, I'm going to leave that nice and pale. I'm going to add a little bit more purple right down here. And I'm going to put some red on top of that. Try to soften this. Going to get a little pink and kind of do a little bit of C curves. And then squiggle. I think that this is pretty well done. I just want to add a teeny bit of green in here. Yeah, I cheated a little bit using my right hand. Okay, add a little bit of that green to this and soften it. Okay, now I think when this is dry, I can do the little detail right here and maybe take off a little bit more so we have more of a fuzzy texture. It's all dry, and I'm going to switch to a number 2 paintbrush. I'm going to make a greenish brown color. I'm going to take some of this green and add some of this color to it. And there's sort of a very neutral, olivey, brownish green. Sort of a brown that leans green. And I'm going to try to do this with my left hand. Actually, you know what? I think I need to do something else here. I need to do clear water right here along this line. And I need to add this color to that line to define it a little bit. Going to do the same thing over here. A little bit of precision now with your left hand. I'm going to add this to the line. And now we have sort of a more defined indent. Don't love that right there. There. There is a little more shadow. I'm going to get regular green, just whatever this green is here, and add it back here behind the little detail. And I'm going to add a little orange, yellow to brighten it. And I'm going to dab it. I'm going to do a little more scrubbing in here to brighten it up. This right here is too red. This needs to be more light colored. So now I've got the green, a little bit of yellow green, a little bit of light colored yellow. And I'm going to add some of the fuzz down here. I'm going to just take off. I'm using this edge and just dragging it along. Do a little bit here. Do a little more here. I'm holding it up on the edge and going back and forth in a C shape. Be sure to use lots of water. There, that looks good. I like that. I'm going to take a little bit off right here. Okay, now I can do the little detail with my number 2 and this brown color, brownish green color that we made. And I'm not going to be super picky about it, but I am going to establish this line right here. And I'm going to make just scrumble in some of this color. I'm going to get a little bit of orange. I'm going to dry this. I'm going to get a little bit of this orange here and add that in here. And then a little bit of the green on top of that orange. And a little bit of the purple. And this needs to be more stem-like, so I'm just going to darken the little part that's going to be a stem. And then all this stuff is just hanging off the stem. There. So there's your peach that you did with your left hand. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish the whole painting, but I'm going to speed it up, and I'm going to do it with my right hand. And then I'm going to show you how to clean up sloppy edges like that. I could not avoid those edges because I was using my left hand and it was awkward. So here we go. Well, I am making a dent in all the plates I have. This isn't even all my plates. And with leftover paint on palettes and using our left hand for just one peach, we made a really, really pretty little basket of peaches. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial and that you give it a chance. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.